All right. So this is designed to be, you know, the first, just sort of an introduction and overview to the Commitment to Excellence program, C2EX, and but then moving into a little more hands-on, getting in and, you know, sort of looking through it. And then ideally, I'd love it if you guys would be, has anybody already logged in to C2EX? You guys? No? Well, I would love it if, but you know, at the end of this, you would do so and just start taking a look around on your own. But I'm going to try to give you a whirlwind tour, the 10-cent tour today, and just a little of the why of C2EX and some of the how, and hopefully then you'll be inclined to go do it. All right, so I'm going to try to share the screen. All right, sharing the screen. Okay. All right. So do you all see a splash screen for C2EX for Commitment to Excellence program? Awesome. Yes. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Well, to start with, I do not represent C2EX, the NAR C2EX committee or NAR. I'm just here to help you get started. It's I've gone through the program and I do have my endorsement now. I'm an education junkie. I have a teaching background, and I just think this tool is fantastic, and you're already paying for it. So it's included in your dues. And NAR has sunk a lot of money into this platform, and it's just fantastic, and I've learned so much through it. So, but again, I don't represent anybody. I'm just a fellow village agent who wants to help out. And for those of you who have seen, "Oh brother, where art thou? Mama says I'm not bona fide." So, all right. So the C2EX program was launched in November of 2018, but it had taken about 1.5 years of development. And as of now, there are 58,700 plus members participating. And 9,700 of those have earned the endorsement. And the Learning 100 award is a technology award for learning platforms and media and stuff, and it's a national award. So this was a huge recognition of the quality of this platform that's been developed for us. Okay. All right. Great thing about C2EX is you don't have to do it on your laptop. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on your iPad. And it is mobile friendly. They've optimized the app for mobile, which is great because some of the, as we get into what you're going to be doing in it, some of the tasks and the learning things may only take a couple of minutes. So while you're sitting in line waiting to get through the admissions testing, you could maybe knock out a couple of the little sections just pulling it up on your phone. And in case I forget, please remind me at the end. I'm going to show you how to add it onto your phone. So the folks who have participated and have their endorsements now report that the total in time investment on average has been 10 hours over 2 weeks. Now, I took about 3 months just because I was doing it during a very busy time. And I did some of the extra stuff that I wasn't assigned, but that was timely for what was going on in my business at the time. But I don't want to scare people off. Like, this isn't like, oh my goodness, it's going to take 4 years to get this done. But there is a lot. And again, there is no charge for this, no additional charge. It's included in your dues for the NAR dues. All right, so before we get into this, I am doing, again, this is my first try at leading a Zoom, and I'm gonna try a poll. All right, so you guys are my guinea pigs. All right, I'm gonna launch the poll now, and there's gonna be a couple of questions, 4 questions. It's just a warm up. Hoping everybody sees it pop up on your screen, and then you'll answer each of the questions. And this is just sort of a practice test for polling, and then we'll have a real poll later. Here we go. All right, I have launched it. Do you all see a poll? Okay, the first question is, what is the name of the facilitator of today's C2EX training? And is it Rhonda, Roberta, or Rebecca? Number 2, Rebecca's birthday is September 2nd. What is her sign of the zodiac? Is it Virgo, Libra, or Meerkat? All right. And then how many agents are currently affiliated with Village? About 200, about 300, or 418. And finally, for the month ending July 2020, what was the total NAR membership? All right, so I'm going to end the polling. Everybody had a chance to do this?
Hold on, I'm doing that. I have no idea about a September 2nd birthday.
It's okay. This is just a warm up. Just a warm up. Thank you for being my guinea pigs today. I think it's a great feature. I've seen it used in Zoom, and I was like, this, I got to give it a try.
Oh, did I put the name?
All right, 3 of 4 have completed it.
Did I do it?
So yes, I think it's counting me, and I'm not going to participate because I kind of know the answers. Oh no, I see. All right, I'm going to end the polling. This was just a practice. All right, so I'm going to share the results. Do you all now see the results of the poll? Great.
Yes.
Mindy, you don't see it? We'll come back to that. So we can see that the 3 people who answered all got Rebecca right. Excellent. My birthday, the sign for September 2nd is in fact Virgo, not Meerkat. Everybody got how many agents are currently affiliated with Village, and then it was a bit all over the map for the total NAR membership. The correct answer is 1.4 million, so it was the number 2. All right, so I'd like to make that go away. Okay, all right. Now, why that's the last question is really the one that's the most important, and about the membership of the NAR. When we go, let's see, you can see, so there's 1.4 million realtors as of the end of July. Only 58,000, almost 59,000 of that membership is participating in this. All right, and I think that's a huge gap that I'm hoping I can help, get more people into it, because I've worked through it and I do think it's fantastic. All right. And of those 59,000 members who have logged into it, fewer than 10,000 have earned their endorsement. So we'll get back to the benefits of getting the endorsement, not just the knowledge that you get, but how you can use it in your marketing to set yourself apart from other realtors in your professionalism. All right. Okay. So before we get started, I want to share just a super duper short video. Stop share. And can I put, how do I share? All right, I do apologize for not knowing how to share. I am a sharer. I'm a Virgo, like to share. I'm a middle child. All right. Okie dokie. I think I have it now. Is what you see on the screen, does it say in that big blue bar, it says help, confused about? Okay, great. Thank you for confirming. So just a quick introduction to C2EX, and then we're going to dig into it.
I don't hear it.
You can't hear it?
I can't hear it.
Oh, goodness, I'm sorry.
I had to mute myself because I've got somebody outside with a blower right outside my window.
So, Hampton, were you able to hear? No? Well, I apologize for that. My technology skills have just reached the limit. Well, I'll stop sharing this, go back over here, and I'll tell you what it said. All right, and share, and share. Okay, so basically what it said is this C2EX program was developed in order to improve certain areas of realtor professionalism, expertise, and service. So I don't know if any of you have maybe worked with another agent who maybe wasn't quite as professional, or had gaps in knowledge, or even was not providing great service to the clients that you thought. And the idea here is the NAR wants to provide these tools so that all realtors can invest more in themselves and improve themselves in these three areas: expertise, service, and professionalism, and set themselves apart from other realtors. Okay? So the C2EX competencies, which you would be working to improve and develop on, are real estate law, code of ethics, Article 10 of Code of Ethics, advocacy, trust and integrity, technology, safeguarding privacy, areas of practice, client service, professional reputation, and then there's some broker tools as well. All right, so all of us have gone through the pre-licensing 60-hour course, and then the 30-hour post-licensing new affiliate course, and then we're overwhelmed with information and just started practicing things. And then once you get into the practice, you start realizing, oh my goodness, there's a lot to this in terms of providing great service, being professional, keeping yourself out of trouble with SPREC and violation of code of ethics and that sort of stuff. All right, so next we'll go to, so there are three phases of C2EX. The first phase is the evaluate phase. And when you first log in to C2EX, it's going to send you, it's going to have you do an assessment in all of those competencies areas. It's going to throw some questions at you, and based on how you answer those questions, the platform will develop a customized learning pathway for you. So if you get all the questions right in the area of advocacy, but in technology you only get 2 of the 5 assessment questions, they're probably going to load you up with more technology learning tasks and assignments than advocacy. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, here's an example of an assessment question. All right, what the competency area is code of ethics, and what is the primary focus of Article 1 of the Code of Ethics? You'll select your answer, hit submit, and then it'll bring up the next question. So they'll have you do an assessment in each of those competency areas. The assessments take 2 to 5 minutes. I mean, it's super quick, but it's important in terms of providing that input on the front end so that the platform can create the best customized learning pathway for you, or what you show that you already know. Here's another assessment example in client service. Should you store client information on a cloud server? You review those 3 possibilities and then hit submit, and then the next question will pop up. It's a little frustrating. Well, they may have changed it, but when I did it, they didn't tell me if I got the answer right or not. And as a Virgo middle child with poor emotional boundaries, I need the validation of I got it right. So it may just pop you through question after question. All right. So once you've done that initial assessment, again, the total time to do it probably takes maybe 10 minutes. Then you move to the second phase, enhance, and that's where you really get into the meat of the work, where you're going to enhance your expertise, your service, and your level of professionalism. Okay, so again, the platform C2EX will create a personalized learning path based on your assessment results. Okay, and so then once you complete those assessment, what you will see is what topics you're supposed to then dig into and complete either a learning lesson or a task. So what learning path is set up for Brent will be different than it is for Mindy and different for Hampton and everyone else, okay? All right, so what you do is you complete your required tasks, you complete all your learning assignments, and then you earn the C2EX endorsement. All right. There are so many things that you may that you're going to find in this platform that are amazing. You can send surveys to your open house attendees, for showings. You can after you've had a closing, you can send surveys to your sellers or your buyers. So it makes it super easy to ask for feedback and even referral material. So there is an incredible library that's accessed through C2EX. For those of you who have spent any time on the NAR website, it is like the catacombs of Paris in terms of how much information is there. All right, so C2EX helps break it down and make it and direct you to certain areas. You're kind of getting a tour of the NAR library through these C2EX lessons. All right, and then there are tons of videos and other guides in the help section as well. We'll talk about that. And then finally, once you've completed all your assigned learning pieces, then we get to the showcase. This is how you're going to use the endorsement to set yourself apart from a marketing perspective, okay? All right, so the endorsement materials, once you have your endorsement, you'll, on the main page, you'll go to the My Achievements area. I'll show you this in a bit and see all of them. And then it takes you to your endorsement stuff. And then you can click here to print your endorsement certificate, or you can click to download additional promotional endorsement materials. And so again, going back to the number of realtors who have completed this process, this learning path, and earned the endorsement is fewer than 10,000. So you can really use these materials to promote yourself and set yourself apart. Especially, we've got what, 7,000 something, 7,000 to 8,000 realtors in the Greater Nashville Association of Realtors. And I don't have numbers on how many have completed that, but when we've only got about 10,000 nationwide that have completed it, you can set yourself apart even in this market, right? All right, and endorsement materials. This is there's a mini poster you can print and put on your website. You can have these little table tag things. At your you can put it on your backpack. Anyway, the NAR has created a bunch of materials that are available to you as soon as you complete your endorsement. And furthermore, they have a plan. Once they reach sort of a critical number of endorsed realtors, they're going to have a very large national marketing push on C2EX, similar to their, Who We Are campaign that they're running right now. So it'll be national advertising that'll then make this endorsement even more valuable for you to you from a marketing perspective. And for anyone who uses Realtor.com, your C2EX endorsement appears there, but also in the materials that are made available to you. There are icons that you can use to attach to your email signature and marketing materials and stuff like that. All right. And as a bonus, as if you needed more, earning and maintaining your C2EX endorsement fulfills your code of ethics requirement for 2021. All right, so that's just a nice little bonus. Yeah. And for the brokerage, this is just a little splash. Village is not yet a C2EX endorsed brokerage, but should our broker team decide that this is a great program to really set our Village agents, all of us apart, then there could be at some point a push and a request and an initiative to get more village agents involved in this program, because it really is good. All right, so if you, once you're in the platform, there are ways to stay informed about the changes, the updates, the events, the marketing campaign when it's launched, and that sort of thing. But we'll see a little more of that when we get into the platform. And there's going to be a challenge for anyone who earns any realtor who earns their endorsement between June 1st and October 1st. Is entered into that participates in this challenge will help the state of Tennessee hopefully become a 2020 challenge champ. So they're just trying to get a little more, again, uptake. All right. So I've talked a whole lot there. Are there any questions right now? Questions so far before we kind of get into the platform? Any questions about the why? Or what am I going to get out of it? Why should I put the time and the effort? Anybody? All right. Is everyone still alive? Okay, great, thanks.
How long has this been available?
It was launched, Andrea, it was launched in November of 2018.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, no problem. Thanks for asking. All right. So,
and have you found value in it? I mean, it seems to me like it would be. Why not?
Absolutely. I found there are things that this is one of those, and I again, self-professed education junkie. This is an amazing platform. The information that I learned by doing this, it's that whole, I didn't know what I didn't know, or I had forgotten it in the rush to get my license and all the stuff's getting crammed in, and maybe something didn't stick with me. And those things that didn't stick with you, we'll talk more about that in a bit, those things that don't stick with you can get you in trouble. They can impact your level of service. They can affect how your professional face that you present. They can show gaps in your expertise. And so when we, fill those voids back up, or just light them back up, the little bulb's gone dim, then overall you become a better service provider, you become more professional, and you set yourself further and further apart from those who have bigger gaps, right? And also, this is it's not a one and done thing. A C2EX endorsement is good for 2 years. And at the end of that 2-year period, you'll get an invitation to re-up. You don't do the whole process again, but it is a touch base to see, have you learned anything? Did you forget everything? That sort of. So that's a way for the NAR to, again, maintain the integrity of this endorsement. We're not just saying do it and then put it after your name. They're going to ask you to continue to prove that you are exceptional every 2-year period. And I think that's a really good practice. Okay, ready for a practice assessment. All right, so this is when you log in for the first time and you're going to start doing assessment. Just as a reminder, the C2EX competencies are real estate law, code of ethics. This is like Jeopardy. Article 10, code of ethics, advocacy, trust and integrity, technology, safeguarding privacy, areas of practice, client service, professional reputation. So unless you're a broker, principal broker, you won't get any broker questions, but you will get questions in all of these categories in your initial assessment, right? Okay, now, oops. How to make my poll come up. All right, let's see. All right, so there are going to be a few questions here, and these are actual questions from the C2EX platform that could be, verbatim from the platform that you might find in your assessment. All right, Question 1, Code of Ethics. What is the primary focus of Article 1 of the NAR Code of Ethics? Give you a chance to read those. All right, number 2. Oh, we'll wait till folks have a chance to read and answer. All right, question 2, client service. Which of the following is not a fiduciary duty to a real estate agent's client? All right, number 3, Article 10. Oops. Article 10 of the NAR Code of Ethics supports the Federal Fair Housing Act by specifically prohibiting discrimination on the basis of all of the following characteristics except gender, ethnicity, familial status, disability. Oops, sorry about that. All right. Before we move to the last 2 questions, can I get a thumbs up from anybody who's on video if we're ready to move on, or if I'm going too fast? Thumbs up if we're ready to move on. Thumbs down if I'm going too fast. Thumbs up. All right. Brent's the only one on video, so he gets to make the call. All right. Technology. How long must you be able to process opt-out requests after you send your commercial message, your email, whether it's your newsletter or whatever? And how long do you have to honor an opt-out request? I'll let you all read those. All right, and I'll go on lastly to the 5th one, real estate law. In order for an agent to be classified as an independent contractor, a broker and a sales agent must establish all of the following in a written agreement, except which one? All right, I'll give about 50 seconds for you all to read through those and answer the ones that you care to answer. And then I'll close out the polling. All right, just a few more seconds here, maybe 10 more seconds. So if you'd like to, thanks, Mindy. Mindy said her computer's freaking out and she can't see the polling. So I'm sure you would have gotten all the answers right, Mindy, but we're going to go over them in just a second. All right, I'm going to end the polling now. Thanks to all of you who answered. I'm going to share the results. So for Code of Ethics, what's the primary focus of Article 1 of the NAR Code of Ethics? It is, in fact, protecting and promoting the interests of your client while treating all parties honestly. All right. So client service, which of the following is not a fiduciary duty to a real estate agent's client? That correct answer is exclusive agency. Article 10 of the NAR Code of Ethics supports the Federal Fair Housing Act by specifically prohibiting discrimination on the basis of all the following except ethnicity is the correct answer there. All right. And the technology, how long must you be able to process opt-out request after you send your commercial message, and how long do you have to honor an opt-out request? The answer is the third one. You must be able to process opt-out requests for at least 30 days after an email is sent, and must honor an opt-out request within 10 business days. And then lastly, real estate law. In order for an agent to be classified as an independent contractor, broker, and sales agent, must establish all the following in a written agreement, except the answer is number one, an agreement that the agent will hold confidential any information via brokerage event. So yeah, we had thank you again to everyone for putting yourself out there and putting some answers in. These are, again, examples of the assessment type questions, and I was surprised at some of the assessment questions I got that I didn't know the answer to, honestly. So this is step one for starting your C2EX path. Bonus question for anyone who wants to unmute and answer. Number four, the technology question about the processing your opt-out request. Can anybody name the law that establishes these guidelines, that sets out the rules for commercial email and establishes requirements for commercial messages, gives recipients the right to opt out, and stop emailing them, and most importantly, spells out tough penalties for violations? That's right, everyone got the bonus question. It's this CAN-SPAM Act, CAN-SPAM Act. So, and again, this goes to your professionalism in terms of the requirements. If you're going to send out your monthly newsletter, which is a great idea and something a lot of folks do, you better understand your obligations for if someone wants to opt out and not receive your newsletter. And there are some pretty stiff penalties that you can incur for violating that. All right. Thank you for participating in that. Any questions about the assessment, what the assessment is, what's it for, or the types of things you're going to be asked? Nope. Anybody? All righty. Then I'm going to stop the polling. All right, so we did our practice assessment. Now what I want to do is sort of go into the platform just to take a look. All right, oh, I'm going up, not down, sorry. All right. Okay, all right. Any questions before we go into the platform? Okay, all right. So I'm going to go back to share screen and see if I can find this. All right. All right, so do just a thumbs up or thumbs down. Are you seeing on the screen right now a giant C2EX over here and sort of a dashboard symbol here, learning, task? Great, thank you. Great, so this is the dashboard for C2EX. When you log in, you may see for the first time, you may see something a little bit different because I've already completed the assessment and it's been too long since I did the assessment. I don't remember what it looks like. So if anybody wants to log in with me for a first time, then I'll get a screen grab and know what first timers actually see. So let's just do a quick tour. So where we're at right now is the dashboard. All right. And then I scroll down and there's a section for my achievements and a section for notifications. This is really neat. This is a way to share things with other folks who are engaged in the C2EX process. You can see Nick Irwin shared a learning topic with me, the laws of closing. I imagine he did that in order to complete his endorsement, unless he really thinks maybe he thinks I lack in that knowledge, I don't know. But Betsy Luttrell was kind enough to give me a celebration and gave me a little thumbs up and a woohoo. So appreciate that. She did that. We did this the first time of this training back in January, and she attended it. So she gave me the woohoo. All right. And then the next icon up here is learning. This is the page where my customized learning plan, I went into and saw what I needed to do, all right? And there are two categories. There's C2EX required, the things that I was assigned that I must do in order to achieve my endorsement based on the learning path that was created for me from the results of my assessment. And then there's everything. So you can see what you weren't assigned and go in and do some of the other things as well. If there are categories that you still feel weak in or you just want to add some more knowledge, you can go in there. So let's see what I was assigned. I was assigned in real estate law. I was assigned I was assigned zoning and land use, independent contractors in the law, and this is where it shows I completed everything that I was supposed to do. Code of ethics, I was assigned applying the code, sharing the code. So Article 10, advocacy. So you can see these are those competencies, and evidently I was not as good in trust and integrity because I got 3 assignments in there. Technology, man, I just sunk that one up, I guess. So I was assigned learning in tools and services, running a real estate business remotely, and so other things. All right. So let's pick an interesting. We'll go with ratings and reviews. I'm going to open into, you can see I've got a check mark, so I completed this, but I can always go back and do it again. So let's say I haven't completed it yet. I'm going to go into that, and I'm going to start over. All right, so here's an example of a learning assignment that you might get. Social capital. Select each realtor profile to see their strategy. Which strategy best describes how to build social capital online? So I have to click on each realtor and read what they're saying, the best strategy, how to build social capital online. So I read each of them, and then I have to make a choice. All right, I'm going to go with anything that starts with let my professionalism show. I think that's probably a good option. I'm going to choose that. Oh, and I got it right. So, but if I'd gotten it wrong, they'd say, no, that's not the best. Try again, go back, reread them. So it's helping you learn if you have a gap there. All right, once you've can move on. Now I've got one, building my online reputation. And again, this is all under the competency of trust and integrity. So for this one, in order to be able to move on, you have to open each of them and read them. You don't have a choice to make in this type of learning activity, but you do have to click each one of them open and hopefully read them. All right. So then I'll have an option to move forward. Collecting testimonials. And this is great because again, we'll look in a minute about the survey feature here that makes it super easy to ask for feedback from your clients. And this is another one where I need to open up what each realtor believes is the best approach for collecting testimonials. And I'm going to have to choose one before it lets me go forward. And let's see. And there's usually one absurd one, one kind of believable, and one so. Let's see. It's probably going to be this one. You'll usually have to reach out to buyers and sellers you worked with to get feedback. Ask if they'd be willing to comment on your work. And if so, ask them specific questions about their experience. So some advice on getting feedback, both what to ask and how to ask for it. All right, so I'm going to choose that one. Whoop, got it right. All right, so I can move forward. And testimonials and surveys. What this type of learning category is, or learning assignment, is just reading. All right, so it's just getting more information, more education, educating yourself about the importance of surveys, why you should do them, and then talks a bit about how to do them. All right, and oh, I completed that topic. That's excellent. So I can rate it, but this is really cool and important. I can share it with others. So I've shared a couple with folks where it was just a topic that nailed a question they had just asked me. So I forward this. The trick is it has to be somebody who's registered in the system, all right, who's logged in for the first time. So Hampton, you said you have not logged in, is that correct? All right, so let's see. So I start typing Hampton and he doesn't appear. So sorry, you won't get the benefit of my most excellent sharing with you. But I do happen to know that Nick Irwin is, because he sent me something. So I'm going to send old Nick something back. Hi, Nick. Teaching a C2EX class and thought you would be a good recipient. All right. But you could put, you could put, hey, Nick, we were just talking about this topic and I mentioned the survey feature in C2EX that you hadn't looked at yet. Check this out. This will talk you through it. That was probably a better thing to share with him, but whatever. All right. So that's an example of learning activities that you will get in these different competencies. All right. Then we move on to tasks. Tasks are different from learning activities in that it's not reading and answering and getting into the nitty-gritty. It's something you have to do, an assignment, if you will. So I'm going to expand all and see what I was assigned. So again, this is C2EX required. These were assigned to me, my specific learning path by C2EX. So what Janet gets in her task list may vary from what I was assigned, again, based on your answers to the assessment questions. So in real estate law, one of the things I was assigned was to attend a community meeting. I'm like, what? Like, what kind of community meeting? I've never really done that kind of stuff. And then it says, for example, being knowledgeable about community issues and being involved in your neighborhood efforts improves your quality of service and professional reputation. Attend a meeting of your local police board, city council, zoning board, or other municipal or local organization. And then once I've done that, I put the date in that I completed it and I verify, I'm just saying, on a save, nobody's going to check on me, but I did it, and save, and that gets marked off. A couple things about tasks. When you're assigned a task, for example, one of the ones I was assigned was to register to vote. Well, I've been registered to vote for a very long time. And so I in that case, go on and say you've completed it. You don't have to pick the actual, just pick today, whatever it is. But some of the assignments that the tasks that you'll be assigned, you will have already done. And so something like register to vote, I can't do that again. But attend a community meeting, it had been a long time since I had attended like a city council meeting. So I attended a city council meeting, and then I put that, even though I had done it before, I went on and did it again. Because the last time I went to a city council meeting, I wasn't a real estate agent. And so my perspective at that time was based on my life experience at that time. And I really did hear things in a different way. Plus, for those of you who know Emily Benedict, who was used to be a village agent, and she's now with Parks, she represents District 7 on the city council, and she's always fun. And Mary Carolyn Roberts, I can't remember her district number, but Mary Carolyn's now with the Wilson group, but she used to be with this village. So city council meetings are generally of very significant importance to real estate agents. So, and one important thing, you don't necessarily have to physically attend, because the city council meetings are on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of the month, I think, and they're all, you can access them through the web. So again, tasks, try to achieve the spirit of it, what they're trying to get you to get out of it. So, all right, so those are tasks. Let's see what else I was assigned. Okay, here is what took me, is it there? Trust and integrity. Here. So in trust and integrity, this was the last task, the very last thing I had to do to get my endorsement, and it took me a couple of weeks to do it. It was send a C2EX client survey. Not because it's hard, because it's super easy. It's because I didn't want to. I was like, I don't want to ask. I don't want to get the, and I didn't want to do a fakey one, right? So just to, get the endorsement, I really wanted to do it. So So I opened it up. It says send a C2EX client survey. So I clicked there. I didn't have any at the time, but I created one. Now, the first thing I did was I created a test and just to go through the motions. But then you can see I did send one to, this was a client, a buyer who had closed a couple months before that, and I did send a survey. I have a different survey process that I use, but this is a great way to do it. You can use canned surveys that they have. You can create your own custom survey, however you want to do that. I had just gotten into, I found something that I really liked, and so I've been using that. But this is a great way if you don't know how to get started or where to get started, or you don't want to create your own, pick one of these. So we'll send a survey. All right, I'll just give you an example. You type the recipient's name. This is my really good friend, Becca Cooper. She gets a lot of email from me when I'm testing stuff out at gmail.com. All right. The address, 1428. Figure out my own address for a second. And then in the drop-down list, I'm going to choose one of the canned surveys. So she is an open house attendee who I met. So this is an easy way to follow up with your open house folks. If you have a little hesitancy following up with folks after, simple way to do it. You got their email address, plop this in here and send her off. All right. So rate yourself before sending so you can compare your responses. I love this. It has you answer how appropriate was the level of attention you received as you explored the property. Did you feel free to explore? So as the agent, I would answer, I think I gave really good level of attention to everyone and made them feel comfortable to explore. Or how effectively were your questions about the property answered? I think I knocked it out of the park. I answered everybody's question, this and the other. So you rate yourself, and then you send the survey, and then when they respond, you get a comparison of the two. So it's a way to help you see yourself. And again, it's not to make you feel bad if you get something that's lower rating than you expected. It's like, oh, I might need to work on that area and improve in that area in my open house stuff. So it's a tool. It's a tool to use. All right. So we're coming on the last couple of minutes, so I'm just gonna, are there any questions about, say, the difference in learning assignments, which are more read, or the task, which is now go do this? For example, set up your realtor.com profile. It's free to use, so why not do it? Or attend a meeting, or create a business plan, stuff like that. So again, you'll get assigned a mix of learning topics and tasks, and whatever you're assigned to do that are required, you have to complete all of them, and then you'll get your endorsement. All right. So the next little area up here is just going directly to the surveys. All right, so we did it through my task list, but let's say I've got my endorsement now, so I don't always look at my task list, or I don't really anymore because I finished them. But if I want to do a survey, I can go straight to the survey section by just clicking there. All right, let me just look at that. And then finally, help. This is the area where I tried to do the little welcome video earlier. But if you have, it's a good just little overview of, let's take a look at the dashboard. Let's see how assessments unlock learning topics and your tailored learning path plan. I think that's, it's 2 minutes or whatever might be worth it to read. Learning how to navigate the screens and inside the learning topics, tasks, get familiar with your task list, surveys, a little video how-to specifically on surveys, notifications, FAQ, and additional help and links. All right, so that's just the help section. All right, there's one other thing that I'd like to cover, but just really quickly about how to add an icon on your phone or your iPad so that you can, you know, clicky and make it, you don't have to be on your laptop. But are there any questions? Okay.
So you don't have to complete it in a certain amount of time.
No, you do
And
not.
you can just kind of do it as you have time to do it.
Absolutely. And some of the learning tasks or learning assignments, I mean, it may be 40 seconds,
Okay.
you know, but some of them may take longer. Like one of my tasks was to read about RESPA. So I clicked on the link. It takes me to the NAR website, and I've got a 5-page document on RESPA to read. So, so it may be, I don't want to read that when I'm sitting in line and I'm next at the admissions, but I can just close that out, go to something that might be a little quicker. And you don't have to go finish one task before you can move to the next, or competency before you can move to the next. It's very user friendly.
Okay.
And it will show you your progress along the way. I'm going to show you this real quick. So when you go to my achievements and see all, you can see I have my endorsement. Here's where I can print my endorsement certificate if I want to frame it and put it on the or put it on the refrigerator at home so my husband can see it. And here's where I can download some additional promotional endorsement materials. Here are my competencies. If I hadn't finished one of them, it would be a darker color, but now that, so you can kind of see your progress along the way. And it says on February 22nd, 2022, that my endorsement is good until then, and then I'm going to have to re-up. Again, not going through the whole program. It's showing that I retained some of it, and it will probably give me another assessment, maybe not as in-depth, but assign me a few tasks to do in areas that maybe I didn't have to do last time or something. I haven't been through it, so I don't know what it's like yet, the renewed your commitment. Now down here, engagement, this is, we've all seen this on websites. It's basically the gamification aspect, like, oh, look, I got my getting it done badge, and getting it done badge means I completed one task. Yeah. So, or Taskmaster, I completed 10 tasks. Yeah. You know, and so, but you can see, here's one that I have a year in the C2EX life. So let's see. I have to log in 365 times. Well, you can kind of see this little, you know, circle that's starting around. Or when it gets all the way around, that's when I finished it, and it turns this lighter color. So keeping it 100, log in 100 times. So it looks like I've logged in between 50 and 60 times. All right. Yeah. Oh, this one looks like Champion of Knowledge, share 10 learning topics. Well, I just got credit for sharing one with Nick Irwin, even though it wasn't serious. This, again, is trying to create more community and sharing of information and encouraging each other to improve and build up our professionalism and our integrity and our level of service by using this. All right. And that's kind of the 10-cent tour. Yeah, my personal endorsement of it, or not the C2EX endorsement, my endorsing this platform is I have completed a lot of education in my life, a lot of education in real estate. I've been doing real estate for about 2.5 years, and I have over 300 CE hours in different things. So I'm not comfortable acting unless I feel like I know what I'm doing. I'm not saying anybody else does not know what you're doing. I'm going to backpedal out of that one. But I've done so much education and training, and this really is a fantastic learning platform. It's very user friendly. They've had a major version 2 upgrade earlier this year, and got it, you know, ironed out some of the wonky from version 1 and stuff, and it's really, really neat. And again, I've learned a lot. I have been exposed to resources that I didn't even know we had, because the NAR provides a ton of resources for us, and there were things I just didn't know that were there. Again, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I think it's very much worth it. The last thing that I'd like to do, I'm going to stop sharing here. and just say thank you, thank you. If anybody has a hard stop and you need to go, I totally understand. But on how to add the C2EX icon to your phone, when you log in, you use the same credentials you use to log in on the NAR website. So you'll have your NRDS number and then whatever, you know, password you set. So what you do is you open up Safari or whatever. I have an iPhone, so it's the internet, and I type in C2EX, and it's going to take me to c2ex.realtor.com. Sorry, that looks backwards to you, but and then there is the little this first blue icon at the bottom is the little box with an arrow pointing up. All right, I'm going to touch that, and then I'm going to scroll down just a little bit to add bookmark. All right, add bookmark. All right, so I'm going to add a bookmark, and I'm going to say save. And I'm sorry, wait a minute. I know, all right. That's not right. No, I'm sorry, add to home screen, said that wrong. Add to home screen, and then add, and then my little icon is there now. Gotcha. So when so you just touch on that, and I'm already logged in because I stay logged in. But if you're not logged in, you just enter your credentials again. And that's the way to make it, portable. Or you're sitting in a sales meeting, and you're, like, oh, I don't really want to listen to this topic. You can do that. But works again, optimized for mobile in this way, and so it works great on your iPhone or iPad or Galaxy or.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I didn't even know it existed. I hate to say it.
I hear that. I hear that a lot, and I serve on the Greater Nashville Realtors Professional Development Committee, and I mean these are people who really love education, are into it, and some of them haven't heard of it, and so I think actually Hagen Stone, our Tennessee Realtors president, was the chair of the C2EX committee for the NAR. Oh. So he, and he did a little, press junket after it launched, educating. But I think we need to do more for us at the local level. So I've talked to them about, offering maybe a 7 secrets on C2EX just to try to get the word out again. And I know we're all, super busy, and this is something, it's a tool to make us better and help us set ourselves apart from the other 1,409,000 realtors in the United States, or the other 7,200 realtors in Nashville. Not just because that little icon that says C2EX, but because in our service level, our professionalism, and our integrity, our knowledge sets us apart, and good news travels fast. So anyway, great stuff.
Is this the first time Village has done this class?
It's the second.
Okay.
We did it back in January.
Okay.
And they've updated a few things since then, and so of course the statistics, and but yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Janet. Thanks for participating. Really appreciate it. And ND, if you're still there, so good luck with your computer. Oh, Foo, I forgot to. Yep. Okay. Nothing in the chat that we need. If you have any questions about it, or please feel free to call me or text me or whatnot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, everyone, have a great afternoon. We'll see you soon. Don't forget to log in. Go log in.
I'll log in, promise.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And I'll be able to tell because we have broker level things, and I can see if you do.
Oh, okay, there you go. Okay.
Not a threat, it's a promise. So.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye, thank you.